Harvest Church ladies in Baker City, Oregon. It is so nice to spend this time with you. Hey, I'm from Oregon. I know you guys are battling fires right now all over through Oregon and all that, and just thinking of you guys. So I'm super excited to share this video with you here today, but I'm not doing what your beautiful leaders asked me to do. So here's what they wanted. They wanted a really fun video that was gonna make you laugh because I'm a funny speaker. That's kind of my little niche thing. But after I committed, the world seemed to fall apart. It's like it's hormonal. It's having hot flashes where you guys are. It's vomiting on itself in the Gulf Coast. Wars and rumors of wars. There's a lot of crazy stuff that has been happening over the last couple of weeks. So I was gonna make it funny, but I just felt like I was supposed to share this instead. I do want to just put one thing out of your head right away, and that is you will notice some inconsistencies with this video with my hair. Not just that it's horrible, but you'll notice that it's up and then it will be down and then it will be up again, and that is because I've shot it out of sequence, is what you call it when you're an actor. I'm doing the intro last because I forgot about it. So I just wanted to point that out right away. I brought you on a hike up here for two reasons. And one is I think I'm going to die of heat stroke. No, I'm just kidding. I thought I would look better if I wore a jacket, but I'm deeply regretting it at this minute. The first reason is that I wanted to talk about happiness, because that's what so many of us strive for and we don't even know it. So, like for me, I do it, most people do it, is that we think if we make so much money, then we'll finally be happy. If we lose X amount of weight, then we'll be attractive, then people will love us, then we'll finally be happy. If we find the right person and we fall in love and we get married, then we'll be happy. Which, if you've ever been married, you would know that that's not necessarily the case. Right, honey? I'm just kidding. Sort of, not really, but it's true. So I call it the if, then, when, then. If I get this, then I'll be happy. When I achieve this, then I'll feel happy. It's like this weird place of arrival. So I want to show you something, which is why I had to take you on this hike. So check this out. Hello, this is my shadow. It's been with me since I can ever remember. Do any of you remember when you were a kid chasing your shadow? Well, okay, I asked my husband that question and he was like, I never chased my shadow. Well, I'm a fun person, okay? Either that or I'm a little weird, which, you know, that's still open for debate. But I did as a kid. I used to chase my shadow. And what did you do when you tried to chase your shadow? You tried to catch it, basically. You would try to run after it. But what I would do is I would try to jump in the middle and land in it as if it was something you could hold on to, if you could hang on to it. And that is how so many of us treat happiness. We want to jump in the middle of it and hold on to it. But just like chasing your shadow, the more you try and chase happiness, the more tired and frustrated and unhappy you are in your life. So, what is happiness? My shadow is a byproduct of my life, my actual life. Just like our shadow, our happiness is a byproduct of the life we choose to live. Choice is kind of a difficult word because a lot of times life can really stink and it doesn't feel like there's a choice in whether or not we feel happy. But there's some small things you can do. We're going to talk about that in a second. But again, I want you to just get this into your mind The more you chase happiness, it's like chasing your shadow. You will be exhausted. Instead, live your life in such a way that happiness is just like your shadow. It just kind of hangs out with you wherever you go. So sometimes our shadow disappears just like our happiness, because storms come and things happen in our life that are unexpected. And it would be ridiculous of me to say that just because my shadow disappeared, it's never ever going to come back ever again. And the same is true with our happiness. I mean, things happen, and it's just not a time in our life where we feel happy, but that doesn't mean that that's forever. Because it's as cheesy as it is, the storm clouds do pass, and once again, our shadow reappears. So I had to put my hair up because it was so horrible. My makeup artist and my hairdresser couldn't make it today. They actually can't make it any day because I don't have one. So I thought if I just put it up and had like deer horns out of the back of my head, maybe that would look better, but whatever. And I'm actually feeling right now like this video might be a really strong case for Botox. So I want to share with you the second reason I took you on this specific hike. Because for some of you, you're going through some pretty yucky stuff, and it could be anything from a health diagnosis. Maybe you're one of the people who's affected by the fires. You're going through a divorce. You lost your job. Your kids are struggling. There's so many things that are happening right now. You might struggle with depression or some kind of or anxiety, things like that are paralyzing you from living the life and becoming the person that you want to be. So you look at me and you say, "Oh, Stacy, it's so easy for you to be happy because you're gorgeous and thin and beautiful and your life is so amazing and you're a star." Actually, I don't think anyone on the planet has ever thought that about me, ever. But I just wish in my fantasies they do. So you're looking at me going, well, it's easy for you to say because you've never blah, blah, blah. So I want to share a tiny bit of my story about how I may not understand truly what you are particularly going through, but I can empathize maybe with some. I brought you up to, it used to be a church Bible camp, and I worked here for many years at a church that rented it, and I worked in the children's ministry, and you can see a little cross there. We hiked up to the top. It's being developed now for houses, so it's no longer a church camp or anything like that. But while I was here, the last couple months, I was going through some old doors to build a set for a musical theater camp. And it was here at this very camp that I stepped on a rusty nail. And in the meantime, my first husband, he had been diagnosed with a serious illness for, I think it'd been 7 years. And I had 2 small kids, and that was quite a journey. And I found myself actually ending up going through a divorce, which I never thought I'd go through a divorce. Nobody ever wakes up and says, gee, when I grow up, I want to be a single parent. And so that was really devastating, and it was horrible on my kids. It was embarrassing. I don't know, it was just a lot of emotions. And so I stepped on that nail and it healed fine. Oh, you can see my husband in the background. I think he's reading his Bible right there. He said, whatever you do, Stacy, don't film me. That's my now husband. We have a lot of fun together. Anywho, so I went through that. I stepped on this nail. It healed fine. But I lost my house in the divorce. And on the day I went to sign the house over, and it was the day after my divorce was finalized, I started feeling funny, and I got sick. I'll make a short story long, but I almost died a whole bunch. So I was in the hospital for 3 weeks that time, and basically I'd gotten bacteria in my bloodstream. I had some joints get really infected. I was septic. And where it was at, I couldn't walk when I left the hospital. So then I couldn't work. So really in 3 weeks' time, I lost my marriage. I lost my home. I ended up losing my job. I lost my financial security. I couldn't walk. I couldn't take care of my kids. I lost my independence. I lost a lot of friends through that time period because I was really sick and I couldn't just be in other people's lives. And my whole life was severed. And it was very devastating. I went through 2 years. I ended up being diagnosed with PTSD. I went through severe depression and questioned God a lot. I tried to deny his existence. I tried to think, why would a loving God, allow such devastation? Like, why would he wipe everything out in your life if, all you tried to do was love him and follow him? But I looked back on my life and I couldn't deny his existence. So I finally decided, you know what, God? I can't deny you exist, but I don't like you right now. And I went through this time period of just wrestling that out with him, of who really is God. And, I know what the word says and I know what I've been taught, but who are you and where are you when I'm hurting? And so now, and I'll share with you some of how I got through all that. Now I can look and I'm glad I went through all of that. Now, trust me, I did not feel that way for a long time. It took a lot for me to come to this place, but I like who I am better. I love how I view life now. I am. Life is not perfect. We're a train wreck like 24/7, my family and I, but I can really look and say now, I live a really good life. I really do. And I don't pursue happiness, but if you were to ask me, Stacy, are you happy? Even though I still have bouts with depression from the PTSD and so forth, yeah, I live a very happy life. And so whatever you're going through, I just want to encourage you, no matter how devastating it is, that it is like your shadow, that things can reappear for you, but there are some things you can do that I learned the hard way that nobody told me, that I'm going to share with you in a minute about, well, not a minute, because I'm going to edit this and it'll be like bloop on the screen, but I'm going to share with you one of the biggest things I did to become happy. Okay, you guys ready for that?